Are you watching all the commotion that's around FTX right now? With this crypto giant headed towards bankruptcy, investors are worried sick about their savings turning into collateral damage. And it's not just individuals. FTX was also collaborating with many brands, the biggest of which were sports partnerships. Join us as we try to navigate what happens to all the celebs and sports deals that are at risk of massive losses. Starting with the sports stars who will be taking the hit. After being named global ambassadors last year, Tom Brady, Steph Curry, and Naomi Osaka are about to lose their equity stakes in the business. Hedge funds and pension plans will suffer huge losses from their FTX investments, in addition to sports players. Many affiliated sports figures may come to regret their association with Sam Bankman-Fried after the demise of the cryptocurrency exchange FTX. Sam Bankman-Fried seems to be one swing away from getting hit by a pitch, especially after Binance's Hail Mary attempt to buy his struggling exchange failed. Investors in Bankman-Fried's enterprise, many of whom are well-known athletes, face significant losses at this point in the game. NFL legend Tom Brady is the most well-known of Bankman-Fried's partners. Last year, Bankman-Fried's FTX.com and FTX.US agreed to give Brady and his ex-wife, supermodel Gisele Bündchen, stock. The pair received an equity stake in FTX under the terms of the agreement, which were not made public. Brady later joined the exchange as an ambassador, and Bündchen joined it as an advisor for its environmental and social initiatives. Along with becoming the exchange's public face, the duo invested $650 million in the business. Their share stake and that investment now seem to be worth a lot less. With everything going on in that poor couple's life, this is the last thing they need. Now, he's not the only one facing the brunt of bankruptcy. Even though Steph Curry has won another NBA title since signing a contract with FTX, it appears that he'll also lose money on this purchase. When the four-time NBA champion signed a partnership with FTX last year, he also acquired shares in the company. What'll happen to his nonprofit organization, Eat, Learn, Play, and backing as a result of this is still unknown. The exchange also signed tennis player Naomi Osaka and baseball player Shohei Ohtani as worldwide ambassadors in exchange for their ownership stakes in the company. Both agreed, as a condition of their sponsorship agreements, to receive payment in bitcoins. Clever at advertising its brand, FTX also entered into naming rights contracts with a number of sporting venues. These included shelling out $17.5 million for the naming rights to the football stadium at UC Berkeley and $135 million for the arena that'll house the Miami Heat. These naming rights appear to be up for grabs very shortly. Dave Portnoy, the founder of Barstool Sports and another sports-related investor, inquired as to what had happened to his cryptocurrency held with FTX. Apparently, Portnoy would be recognized as a creditor, and he'd join the huge list of creditors that FTX is currently dealing with. These include Altimeter Capital Management, Tiger Global Management, and hedge funds, along with Ontario Teachers Pension Plan, Sequoia Capital, Lightspeed Venture Partners, Iconic Capital, Insight Partners, Thomas Bravo, and Masayoshi Son's SoftBank Group Corporation, who'd all invested in FTX as well. And now, they're all set to lose most of their capital, if not all. Coming up, we look at just how bad it looks for these celebs. To give you an idea of how big these losses can be, let's look at some numbers. Curry signed his first contract in the cryptocurrency industry with FTX in September 2021, and he expressed his enthusiasm for the cooperation in a press statement at the time. Osaka, on the other hand, acquired a share of FTX in March under a long-term arrangement that paid her in digital currency. But given that FTX is rapidly losing money and needs $4 billion to stay afloat, the pair's agreements with the firm now seem to be worthless. In addition, one of the company's early investors has written off its stake to the tune of $0. Yep, good old zero. In addition to signing an equity agreement with the business last year, Brady and his ex-wife Bündchen also took part in the exchange's advertising campaign. They stand to lose a lot of money from their failed investment as well, as FTX ex-CEO Sam Bankman-Fried lost an estimated $14.6 billion in a matter of days, or 94% of his net worth. All the other deals and collaborations with the exchange have also been suspended, or they await the final nail in the coffin. According to reports, Binance discovered a financial black hole in FTX's books, a discrepancy between assets and liabilities that rendered the takeover impractical. Also, FTX stopped accepting new clients on Thursday and stopped processing withdrawals till further notice. In a note on its website, the business also urged customers not to deposit money. Up next, bankruptcy proceedings are underway at FTX. After making a futile attempt to raise $8 billion in financing, the latest development is that FTX.com has started Chapter 11 bankruptcy procedures. The announcement states that FTX US, Alameda Research, and 130 other related organizations will participate in the bankruptcy process. Sam Bankman-Fried, the FTX Group's CEO has resigned and John J. Ray III has been named in his place. The FTX Group should be given quick relief under Chapter 11 so that it has time to evaluate its condition and create a strategy to maximize recoveries for stakeholders. A Chapter 11 filing shields a company's assets from creditors and allows it to continue operating. With the submission, the corporation can suggest reorganizing its debt commitments. If not, the court will in that case. Court approval is required before the corporation may sell its assets in order to pay off its obligations. How did it all go south so soon? Well, on November 6, 2022, FTX had a liquidity issue because it only had $400 million of the $5 billion in client withdrawal requests on hand. It followed a devastating revelation that a significant portion of the assets owned by Alameda, FTX's sibling trading firm, was made up of the token FTT, which is relatively illiquid and was the catalyst for the wave of withdrawals that led to this. Coming up, crypto is down after FTX filing. Since Sam Bankman-Fried was regarded as the cryptocurrency sector's John Pierpont Morgan, FTX declaring bankruptcy is going to be a huge blow to investor confidence. This title was given to him when he bailed out multiple cryptocurrency businesses, notably the broker and lender BlockFi Incorporated and Voyager Digital, the latter of which he lent $75 million. After Voyager filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in July of 2022, Bankman-Fried also acquired its assets and later reimbursed the brokerage's clients. So naturally, following the FTX press announcement, Bitcoin fell 5% to trade at roughly $16,394, wiping off gains made on November 11, 2022. Early discussions with rival exchange Binance about a potential FTX rescue were unsuccessful because the exchange claimed that fixing FTX's financial records and corporate structure would be beyond their capabilities. After FTX revealed a Tron token facility that would allow owners of TRX, BTT, JST, SUN, and HT on FTX to access their frozen FTX funds in an external wallet, things started to look good. On November 10, 2022, SBF announced on Twitter that he was aggressively seeking to acquire $8 billion in additional liquidity to enable consumers to safely liquidate their holdings. Customers' monies on FTX had been frozen, and SBF wanted to allow them to do so. It is noteworthy that the bankruptcy notification states that FTX US, a company that SBF earlier claimed had adequate money, will also participate in the bankruptcy process. Finally, these are the sports deals at risk when FTX goes bankrupt. The company's numerous sports contracts may suffer as a result of its financial difficulties. FTX has aggressively pursued sponsorship arrangements in the sports industry over the past couple of years. To link its name to well-known players and sports franchises, FTX has entered into agreements all around the world, and all of those are currently in doubt. It spent $135 million last year to change the Miami Heat's arena name to FTX Arena for the next 19 years. Similar to this, the cryptocurrency exchange signed a sponsorship agreement with Major League Baseball that saw the FTX logo placed on each umpire's jersey. Along with direct connections to sports stars, as we mentioned earlier, FTX also entered into sponsorship agreements with teams like the $210 million deal with the esports squad TSM, the Mercedes-AMG Petronas F1 team, and the NBA's Golden State Warriors. Among the most popular marketing strategies used by firms to win over consumers who may not be familiar with their services are sports sponsorships and naming rights. So that's what the exchange was going for. Many of the FTX agreements were intended to be multi-year contracts, but given the exchange's impending doom, the FTX logo may soon be removed from many of the illustrious sports companies it worked so hard to court. As for A-listers like Tom Brady, Steph Curry, and all the celebrities that went after FTX thinking it was a money-making machine, they now face massive losses. And that's a wrap for this video. Do you think this is the end of sports partnerships with crypto? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you at the next one.